ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, Coach Bruce Arians.
Yeah, Coach!
BA, how you doing, boss?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. It's a little rough day. That was a rough night for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And you and I texted this morning and last night. I shed some tears last night. I shed some tears on the show here just talking about him. And I wondered if you would potentially say some things about Jim Irsay that maybe people outside of Indiana or people that maybe don't know him have ever heard, something that maybe they don't know about. I think you've been around the league. You've been to a lot of teams. You've been around for a long, long time. You know how teams operate. You've been and seen how other owners operate. Jim was special, and I appreciate you appreciate you coming on and sharing some sentiments with the people.
Oh, you bet. I mean, the guy was just so special. I mean, I was blown away by the tweets and everything that went out by the former players. I think that just tells you what Jim was all about. This was at his birthday party a couple of years ago here at Lake Oconee, and he invited me over. We had a great night. And, people don't realize, the game I missed in Baltimore after Chuck came back and I got sick. First thing Jim wanted to know was my wife there. And the guy said no. And within 2 hours, my wife was in the hospital with me. He sent a car. He sent a plane. That plane stayed on the ground for 3 days waiting for me to get out of the hospital and take me back to Indianapolis. And that's the kind of guy Jim is. Jim loved his players. He tried to mentor his players. He was the second team to ever hire mentors for his players. And it just meant so much to me to see what the players' reactions were to him. We all called him the boss because he was just a special, special dude and the most generous man I've ever known in my life.
Yes, I think that is something that, everybody assumes that people with a lot of money donate money. And I think everybody does because there are certain tax exemptions and there are things that you can kind of do. And I assume they're super uber wealthy people feel obligated to give money back in some sense. There's probably a percentage on what they're willing to give up of their value or net worth or whatever they're making every year. Jim didn't care about any of the actually, I have no idea how his accountant did it. I have no idea how his accountant would be able to keep up with everything that Jim did. And I know at those numbers, nobody cares, right? Oh, you're rich. And here's him with Chuck, obviously, and everything he did for Coach Pagano. That will never be able to be the amount of behind-the-scenes stuff that Jim Irsay is doing and the amount of cancer research now post this because he just learned about this community and was like, oh, I need to help this. And then mental health stuff, he learned about the community, I need to help this. And there's some buildings downtown Indianapolis that need to be renovated and put back together. Oh, I need to help this. Oh, there's these people that I know that it's just like that was every day for everything for him. There was even almost a damn whale that was put into a bomber plane filled with water so that he could fly Tecate, Lolita, out of a aquarium in Florida to the Pacific Northwest, 7-hour flight, 8-hour flight, whatever it is, wanted to fly on the other side, just because he learned of Tecate and was like, this is a Buddhist whale. This is a cool whale, man. This is not how this whale is supposed to end its life. So he's trying to figure out, he was going to have to spend, I think, like $15 million on this plane to turn it into an aquarium for a whale to get up in the sky and go. It's like, that was him with everything. And there's not a lot of humans that have ever been created that way, Coach. Not a lot of humans.
No. And, he was the shoe. He always talked about the shoe. And, me growing up in York, Pennsylvania, the Colts were my team. Johnny Nice was my idol. And to put on that uniform and put that shoe on as a coach meant so much to me personally. And it was a great 4 years, the 3 I had with Peyton and the 1 I had with Andrew. But I love the city. I love everything that the Colts stands for, and that's because of Jim Irsay.
Yeah, so now, obviously, the Indianapolis Colts are going to have to figure out what's next for their organization, for that family. I assume there's already been plans because of how the last few years have gone. We're obviously all not blind to any of that. I think last night came out of nowhere. I don't think I expected that at all, Coach. You?
No, not at all. I was shocked.
We all knew there was things going on. I don't know. I don't know who all knew what, to be honest. I think they were keeping a lot of things tight. I think they didn't want anybody to worry. I think that's another thing. Jim, didn't want people to worry. So I think there was a lot more potentially going on than any of us, even the people that are maybe even closer to him than I. And I don't know if you, any of that stuff. But we all knew that. But still, whenever it was jarring, it was holy shit. And then I immediately just started thinking about what a legacy this dude has left behind by the people that know him, Everybody, to your point about the players, every player that said the same thing. Every friend of his has said the same thing. Every coach has said the same thing. It's this is maybe the most giving man that has ever existed. And it's he understood the position he was in, and he tried to make it be a position that can make the world better. We're going to miss the shit out of him, Coach. We're going to miss the shit out of him.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. The NFL is going to miss him because he was a true steward of the game, a historian of the game, and I thought Roger Goodell said it really well today about how much they're going to miss him in the league meetings, and because he loved the game, he grew up in the game, and it oozed from him every single time you met him. It was all about the NFL protecting the shield and protecting the shoe.
I would get messages from people that were in his suites during games, and I would shank one. If I shanked one, very rare. BA, you know that. You can attest to that. Very rare. Very real. Please.
Very rare.
Thank you. I took a lot of pride in that. Especially I knew offense coordinators and quarterbacks too. If I shank, Peyton taught me that. If I am not, because if you get a good one, it's just football happened. You hit a shank though, it's offense failed, bad punt, now they're in there. You can really, we can just keep the game rolling with no spotlight on anything bad if there's a good punt. I would get a text during the game from the people, and I would see it on my phone. Hey, can't be doing that to Jim. He's watching your punts, okay? I guess he threw a garbage can one time because I hit a shank, and I felt so terrible. And then he comes down afterwards into the locker room, always came down to the locker room afterwards, always. Yep. Before the game, after the game, always wanted to be with the boys,
Yep.
Never spoke, unless he was asked to. Had his own chair that they had, he had his own locker basically, but it was in the middle. Came down before every game, after every single game, just wanted to be in there, wanted to experience it. And we won the game, and I think I probably hit a couple bombs afterwards. Okay, you can't hit too many shanks in a row. You're going to get cut as a punter, especially if you have been arrested and you tweet a lot. So, I had a lot of things going against me. So I read that text before he got in, and I go, boss man, sorry about the shank. And he goes, yeah, but you got it back, and we needed it. And he knew, my net, and he knew, what it led to. He knew ball. He was a ball knower. But he wasn't scared to hire people and let them do their jobs either. He was a great leader. Now, granted, I think that has worked against him sometimes. Maybe somebody didn't do their job as well and his loyalty maybe was a little bit too much, but it was all because of how he felt as everybody was a member of his family, Coach. That is literally how he treated everybody.
You were a member of his family. If you were on his staff, if you were a player, you're a member of his family, bro. Those Thursdays when Chuck was sick and in the hospital, those Thursday meetings with Jim were just amazing. We'd talk about Chuck every time and how he was doing, and then we would find out about, what do you think about this week? And I would tell him, I don't know how much of a chance we have, but, I do remember one game, and there was this one punt. All right, we're playing Jacksonville. I think the ball's a 32-yard line with 9 seconds left. I said, bro, just kick that bitch as high as you can out of the end zone. I got it, coach. It came down 1 yard in bounds. And that dude started running it back. I was going to kill you.
No. You wanted me to have a 12-yard net, brother. Okay, you wanted me to have a 12-yard net. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for a 12-yard net. But I understand the assignment. I understand. I understand the assignment, Coach. It was great to spend time with you in the Indianapolis Colts building. I know you are held in high regards, in high respect by everybody you've ever worked with, but certainly with the Colts. And thank you for making some time today to kind of share some thoughts on old Jimmy from the Colts.
Yeah, baby.
We appreciate you, man.
Here's to my man. Here's to the boss, baby.
Hey, cheers to you, Jim. We appreciate the hell out of you. Coach Arians, you're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Super Bowl champion, legend, Bruce Arians. Thank you,
Yeah, BA.